All right. This is going to be a real one. Ooh, how does one start something like this? Hi, I am Dan. I have been, for the last decade or so, struggling with substance abuse issues, with marijuana and alcohol, and just not dealing with a lot of things very well, throughout, just hurting myself essentially, just keeping myself ignorant and clouded, and not really facing reality in a lot of ways, and just really hurting myself, unfortunately. Not focusing on my health, not focusing on what needs to get taken care of in my life. It's been very tough, and I've only ever done it to myself by not doing the work that I need to do, to just lift myself up a little bit. I've just been kind of keeping myself buried a bit, and I don't want to do that anymore. So the last couple months, I have been on the path of not doing that anymore, and just trying to do the work to dig myself out of the hole that I've put myself in, financially and health-wise and everything else. I have, just been doing the work to turn things around, and part of that is just kind of giving myself no place to hide anymore, being very open about it. You could probably tell I'm a little, I'm just a little nervous about even kind of doing something like this. I'm not nervous in the sense, I'm just kind of nervous to, it's tough to bring voice to it. But all I've been doing the last couple months is really just trying to face everything. And that includes letting you all know what's been going on with me. Whether it was obvious or not throughout the last literal decade, looking at the map, literal, looking at the calendar. I have just been mistreating myself, and not giving myself, the full advantage of being clear, and, just kind of giving into unhealthy, alternatives to, take my mind off of whatever was going on. I wanted to let y'all know that I'm doing the work to, get myself back going and on steady ground. The biggest thing was, like, anytime I ever kind of started to get on a streak where things were working, I would just let the, addiction completely take over and ruin that thing. Like it just became, I would just stop doing the work. It's really frustrating, just the way my brain worked for so long. And for some reason, a lot of people have asked me, I've been, on social media talking about how, just my general situation, again, not wanting to just shine a spotlight on it and be like, okay, no place to hide, no shadows to hide in. Although I am Batman, but it always, like, my failings always came from not doing the work. I'm a procrastinator at heart. I always will be, I think. But I also, when I show up and I do the work, and I every single time I do it, everybody's always like, wow, okay, that turned out really great. And it's, that's a wonderful thing, but I really need to focus on getting it done, and not, letting my brain detach, and, focusing on the thing that I am working on or doing, and being vigilant about not letting something come in the way that then goes, okay, well, I don't want to deal with that now, and I'm going to fuck off and not, do the work. Like, thinking like I need to fundamentally change how I tackle everything. If I'm thinking about something that needs to get done, that needs to get done. And I can't just let it sit by the wayside and not get done. So I've been one by one trying to go through and just knock all the things that I have had on the table, out, because it's just been lingering, and, I'm just trying to get things in order. And again, do the work. That's what I just keep saying to myself over and over and over again. Do the work. Because, by golly, sitting around on my ass and not doing the work has gotten me nowhere. Just a lot of facing reality. And so that's what I'm doing. And that's where we are here. I have changed things around in the sense of more steady employment with working with Max. I've been working with Gassy Mexican, doing editing for him since the beginning of the end of January is when we kind of formalized things. And I had done some editing with Max in the past, but I always dropped off. I never he would give me a session and I wouldn't finish it ultimately because I was trying to do my own stuff as well as doing stuff for him. Editing takes a lot of time. And it was just a focus thing, ultimately. I think I just kind of burned myself out on it and never focused on it because I had other things that I was trying to balance in. And again, I was wasting money on alcohol and, vape products and all that stuff. Like, it's expensive to have bad habits. Ultimately, no judgment on anybody. If you have your own thing going on, obviously, if it's a problem and it's something that's causing you issues in your life, maybe consider, lessening, not doing it. Again, it's tough for me to really kind of give you any sort of key because for me, this came out of this whole just change came out of, like I keep saying, a fundamental need for it to change, my situation to change, but also, I really can't explain it. I changed my diet a month or two before. It was around Thanksgiving when I kind of made the conscious effort. I really need to focus on what I'm eating and get better about eating more healthy things. And because, I had the tools back in the day and I was doing well, but not necessarily the best diet all the way around. But I was at the very least consuming a better amount of calories to where I wasn't putting on a bunch of weight and I was exercising more and, doing it properly, but not in the healthiest way. Because, I was still eating not the greatest stuff. Any diet, I would never say completely remove the bad stuff out other than you need to indulge every once in a while. You need to have fun. You need to be able to, not be so hyper vigilant about it all the time, but be mindful about what you're doing. I implemented a lot more fresh vegetables and I started making my own meals and meal prepping and all that. And that gave me the tool to really kind of start focusing on, okay, well, now that I have the food worked out, and I'm really enjoying what I'm eating, it's delicious. I made it myself, so I feel even better about it. Like this is, I know what's going in it. Ultimately, it gives me more mental freedom to focus on exercise and other things I'm doing rather than, what am I going to eat and eating at convenience, just crappy things for convenience. I do attribute that a little bit to the mind shift. I really felt like it started to change literally my brain chemistry. It's like that you are what you eat thing. When you're eating a bunch of crap, it just makes you feel crappy. It's like I would feel, nauseous every morning waking up. That's just how I felt, eating how I was eating. And that was just normal to me. And it's like, oh, well, I just have a sensitive stomach in the morning. It's like, well, no, it's what I was eating and the amounts and the amount of sugar, just so much sugar. And really focusing on that helped me a lot. And yeah, something changed. I really can't say what, but I quit cold turkey and I have not, smoked a vape thing and over, at this point, I think almost 2 months, about 2 months. I have drank, subsequently a couple times, a little bit too much the other night. And that's something I'm constantly going back and forth. It's like, I don't mind having a drink every now and again. I just can't abuse it. And I do tend to get sick if I drink too much. And I just really think that's something I gotta work on and I gotta definitely be a lot better about. And that's just me being honest. Just ultimately, I just want to let you all know where I am. I intend on coming back and producing more videos and streams and podcasts. That is very much the intent, but I'm going to do it at a pace that I can sustain and that I can, keep up with. If I'm producing something, I want to produce it fully before it's released. I tend to rush things a lot of the time and I don't want to do that. I would like to, one of my kind of main credos recently is just, I need to be at a base, level of I'm good to start doing this thing, and start putting it together at the pace that it needs to get put together and not rush it, not go put the cart before the horse. I need to be creating from a full place, not a, a place where I am not, where I'm missing something, whether that's, financial security or, just mental, just if, I need to be in the right place. And I can't jump back into old habits, just for fear of losing control of that thing. It's like, I can't be too precious. That's something I definitely can be sometimes, where I can take a little bit too much time to do something. But I really do want to be at a grounded, like, point where I can actually create from. Because otherwise, it's just going to be like it used to be, and I don't want to do that. All of this is to say, I'm back. I've been away for a bit. I apologize. I really do feel like, I don't know, there was a lot of missed time and opportunity between now and, when I started kind of, I feel like, falling down. And I'm trying to pick myself back up, Mr. Wayne. Mr. Wayne. But yeah, I appreciate everybody who has been so supportive throughout the last, good chunk of time, me being online and doing this stuff. It hasn't been easy. I hope it's not incredibly disappointing to hear all of this, but it's just the reality of the situation, and I'm trying my best to really kind of put my best foot forward and get back to a spot where I can, just goof around and highlight the things that I love. I love sharing with you all, like, that's my gameplay stuff, my playthroughs from back in the day. Like, they were always coming from a place of, I love this game and I want to share with you guys, the silliness and fun of this thing that I love. I feel like it eventually turned into, I just didn't like the general vibe of, shitting on things just for a laugh. It's fun. Like, I get it. Like, and I still do it. I'm not, perfect. And, sometimes, we're all hypocrites a bit, but, like, I just don't want to be an asshole. I just want to be me, and I want to highlight wonderful things that I find wonderful. I want to come from a mindful place. I want to, spread more kindness and love in the world and humor rather than hate and, nonsense. Well, no, I love nonsense, but, just things that don't have any value for anybody. And I think humor and, passion and love are things to highlight. And I want to do more of that. So that is what I shall do. Yeah, I'm just hoping you're all doing well. It's been a little bit since I've connected up with a lot of you guys, especially when I was, streaming regularly and everything else. It's been tough being away from you all, but at the same time, it's just need to uncloud my head. I need to clear my head and uncloud my head. And it's been nice taking a break from, doing the consistent online thing. But at the same time, I do miss you all, and I do appreciate the fact that so many of you are so supportive and caring for what I do and what I've done in the past, and just like, it's how effing lucky. I'm gonna cry. Don't cry. All right. Just like, I feel incredibly lucky and fortunate for being able to do this for so long. I'm sorry if it was disappointing to hear that, I was struggling during a lot of it, but, that's life and stuff happens. And, I just appreciate the love that I've been given, and I try my best to, give it back as much as I can, because I don't take it for granted, and I feel like I squandered it a lot throughout the last good bit. Damn it. All right, no more of that. Eject. I feel very whole from the love that you all have shown me, and I'm not gonna keep squandering it. I'm gonna do my best to really, pay you back. I know nobody's asking for that. It's just, I feel like, I want to create again. I want to create. I want to, I am a critical person. I like watching movies. I like dissecting movies. I like, highlighting the wonderful things about movies. And I would love, love, love to get more of that going on. I know you all are a lot very interested in gaming stuff as well, from me, and I definitely want to get more gaming stuff going on. So it's just figuring out how all that looks, getting back to a regular, steady workflow of, focusing on my primary work, which is working with Max, editing for him, and secondarily working on getting streaming back going, working on getting podcasts produced, and getting some fun stuff going on over here on the Danz Newz side of things. So yeah, I just wanted to get up with y'all, say I love you, and thank you for coming around and checking out what's going on with Dan. That's me. Hi, I'm Dan. And yeah, I love you all. Appreciate you. Take care.